they go up in reverse order after the officials. Seven of them. I don't know who the seventh was. There was a referee, two assistants, two additional assistants, a fourth official, and somebody else in black, maybe the reserve fourth official. But in any event, he wasn't on the list, but he got a medal. But this is the Italian team, the whole squad going up. Balotelli, who disappeared down the tunnel in frustration at the end of it all, is back to take his place in the podium party and enter the stand and be greeted by Michel Platini, the president of UEFA.
I think Bonucci as well. He was inconsolable. There was tears in his eyes, and the players were going round and just trying to put their arm around and say, listen, there'll be better times ahead, hopefully. But they know they were well beaten tonight. They gave their all in this tournament. They should be very proud of what they've achieved. They just came up short against the Spanish.
And when you think of it, they'd never before beaten Italy in a competitive game. They'd won a penalty shootout in Euro 2008 on the way to their first time of the modern era. They won this championship back in 1964 when it was a very different affair. But then in 2008 they won it in Vienna. They went on to win it in the World Cup in South Africa, and they've come here. Not only have they won the European Championship and become the first team to retain in Spain, but they've done it by beating Italy and by posting the biggest score in a European Championship final and the biggest margin.
Yeah, in fact, they've only conceded one goal throughout the whole campaign, 6 matches, 1 goal conceded. As I say, I think much is made of their passing and movement and the goals that they score, but you also have to look at defensively. How is it this team don't concede? You've got to give credit to the goalkeeper, who's brilliant. We'll be going up those steps in a few moments to pick up that trophy once again. As I said, they're getting used to it. And Sergio Ramos has had a fabulous tournament. Jordi Alba on his way to Barcelona scores his first goal in a major final. That is just what dreams are made of.
Balotelli gets a consolation prize and looks not too pleased about it, but there was little that he could do. Cesare Prandelli, he at one point wondered would his team even be here because of the scandal at home, but he said, if I have to pull them out, I'll pull them out. But he didn't. One player had to be sent home, but that was it. And they have charmed and really earned their place in the final. But it's a measure of Spain's achievement that it's Italy they have beaten to make this record breaking win. And so they go, the champions. That Ole Ole song is in Spanish, isn't it?
They'll be magnificent tonight. Everyone will be proud of what they've achieved. They believed in this philosophy and how the game should be played. They did play a starting striker this evening. And you know what? It wasn't a problem because they've got very talented players out there who know each other's game inside out. And I feel for that man. He's had a wonderful tournament and didn't deserve what happened tonight. To lose the game by 4-0, it looks humiliating. It wasn't. They gave their all tonight, the Italian players.
First up, alphabetically first, Arbeloa. He's not actually alphabetically first at all, but never mind. The order is irrelevant. The last man up will be the captain, Iniesta, Negredo, who got his look in against Portugal. Xabi Alonso has been immense too. Juan Martinez, who didn't figure. Jordi Alba scored his first goal for Spain tonight. Llorente, who wasn't fully fit and couldn't play. Busquets, Sergio Ramos, Jesus Navas, who scored a crucial goal too. David Silva, Gerard Piqué, Pepe Reina, and then the first man ever to score goals in consecutive European Championship finals, Fernando Torres.
Yes, absolutely brilliant. He took his goal well, but I love the way he set up Juan Mata for the 4th goal. He could have been selfish and took the strike on himself. He didn't. He squared it for his teammate, and that, for me, typifies what Spain's about.
Fabregas, Buffon, ever elegant, ever resourceful, and also ever respectful.
Absolutely, George. Every Italian player is out on the pitch looking up at the Spanish counterparts. Obviously, they wanted to be in that position, picking up the trophy as winners. It wasn't to be, but you know what? All credit to them. They stayed there, and I'm sure they'll give a round of applause to the Spanish because of the performance that they put on.
It's here in the eye of the World Cup winner from 2006, Pirlo. But here, is the man who's done this before. Another medal for the trophy cabinet back in Madrid. And the first captain ever to be able to do this, to receive the European Championship Trophy, the Henri Deloney Cup, as his team has retained it. And Michel Platini invites Iker Casillas down to stand on the podium and receive the trophy, as it is confirmed champions of Europe are Spain.
Great scenes, George, isn't it? Look, absolutely fantastic. They want you in more and more. It's trophy the win. It's the next one. Look at it upside down. Enjoy the moment. Can we come again and show the world what we're about? The USA's been a truly wonderful match of players at the back. This group have grown together. We know each other's games so well, and the rewards they've got is through hard work, diligence, having a great attitude, committed to each other. And that's why you become champions of Spain after 2012.
They have grown from the moment that they took that title in Vienna. They hold the World Cup. That's to be defended in 2 years' time. They've successfully defended the European Championship, the first team ever to do so, and have become, in so doing, the first team in modern times to win for 3 major titles in a row. What an achievement for Spain, and what an achievement for Vicente Del Bosque. What a night to look forward to in Kiev for the Spanish. Champions of Europe again.
Well, the celebrations will be fantastic in Spain, because this is a historic achievement. And a fantastic achievement in by Del Bosque, because he's not regarded as one of the great elite coaches, and yet he's achieved an awful lot.
Well, Del Bosque has won 2 Ligas and a Champions League bill at Real Madrid. He was the coach at Real Madrid when the Galacticos were there. So he has done a good job. But the other leaders in the team, I noticed Puyol and David Villa. Puyol is very important to that squad. They were there, although they were both injured. And there's a unity between the Catalans and the Spaniards there, which is very important to them.
That possibly was the most significant thing, wasn't it?
Well, traditionally, Spain have underachieved because the players in Barcelona and the Basque Country indeed, and the Castilians, as the Madrids, they don't get on. But that rift has been healed by this generation of players, and notably, when the national anthem was being played, no Spanish players sang it, and I think that was perhaps a recognition that we'll say nothing, we won't subscribe to that, and we'll keep quiet. And it means that for the purposes of football, they have left their culture and their politics in the dressing room and gone out and played for their nation. But there are very significant cultural and political and historic differences between the Catalans and the Castilians, as they're called.
Yeah. I was going back to the revolutionary point that we were talking about a while ago. I was looking at the at some of the background, and apparently 10 years ago, the manager of Brazil said that football would be played very shortly. He said, with no centre forwards.
Well, I haven't seen Brazil. I don't know.
Herrera was the guy who said it. But he's correct today anyway.
Well, he's correct today. I mean, the thing is, again, it's about the players. What I find is a great triumph for football is that these guys, I think Liam mentioned it during the match, I'd say they're one of the smallest teams in this particular competition. And what it has done, Bill, is it hopefully, if they set the example to other nations, that the way to go is skillful, creative, intelligent possession. That's what they've proved, this team. Not just possession football, because possession football can be mistaken for just keeping the ball for the sake of it. These guys play possession football with an end product that they're going to score goals. So I think, you know, the teams that have won traditionally in the past, there's always been, hopefully, and has been a copycat effect to it. So, like, if you see a big, strong team winning this, Bill, you know, they played in a certain way, they're more likely to be copied. Now, these are going to be hard to copy because they're such great players. But obviously Spain, over the years, maybe through Barcelona more than anybody else, have concentrated on skill and wit and imagination. Because what's happening now, I believe, you know, with coaches nowadays, one of the skill is sixth on the list of 10 items that is there for professional football. So hopefully that will encourage all young players and coaches to create the Iniestas and the Xavis and that guy who are not big, strong, athletics, box-to-box players as they call them.
I'll ask that. I'll put that point to you, Liam, in terms of the English leagues at various levels, including the Premier League. Will there be any lessons in this absorbed, do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm